Some of you want to be musicians, reality is a roadblock. Some of you want to be artists, reality says art is a very fun pastime. It's a pastime that's great for all types, the sad, the happy, the ambitious, the horny. It can bring us all together like music, dancing, film, or MILFs. But sometimes it can divide us, like all these things. And MILFs. And I remember seeing a division between artists, the pro Pewdiepies and the anti Pewdiepie artists. If you were born last year, you may not know who Pewdiepie is. He got famous for yelling at video games, then going through his edgy meme boy arc. The good old days.
What a fucking...
Well, as most people do as they get older, he settled down and got rich. Okay, few people do this as they get older, but he settled down and then decided to draw for a year. And right now, presently, he's a pretty good artist. So I was curious and wanted to see some other perspectives. I watched Viyaura's, hopefully I didn't butcher that completely, video on PewDiePie's art journey and or the problem with PewDiePie's art journey. We're just gonna call her V. Is a really fun artist content creator. Like her videos are really relaxing and almost like a detox. So I decided to see what she had to say about PewDiePie and the discourse of his success and his art versus others. Now, as someone who has given up on drawing 2 centuries ago, I feel like I am the most qualified person on the planet to weigh in on this. So you're getting biting edge commentary from me. She mentioned him having good habits. Now I will say it's good to build healthy habits early. Healthy habits, regardless of what you do, is a banger. It'll save you so much time if you're building good habits that help, especially before you settle into a groove that isn't so groovy. Fucking 1970s. Repetition can be good, but you need to get out of your comfort zone. Like that's really good to do. I do a lot of that myself, like putting myself in uncomfortable situations to make sure that I can handle it over time. I'm not gonna say it's gonna completely cure you of whatever your issues are, but it can help out a lot. It can condition you to be able to handle stress, or at least handle it better. One thing I feel like that wasn't really fleshed out enough in her video is it's really good to dip a toe into different things. Instead of just jumping off the deep end and be like, I'm gonna do this from here on out, just ease yourself into it, just bit by bit, inch by inch. That way you don't worry about like hitting a roadblock and be like, fuck this, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And that friction that would normally slow you down or knock you off the path that you want to go on, it's not so bad. Because people like to say, you know, what doesn't kill you make you stronger, but a lot of the times what doesn't kill you will make you say, fuck this shit, I'm not doing this anymore. It'll make you hit the I quit, 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 I quit. She did mention that the comparison is the thief of joy and all that, and it really is. It's why Instagram is so toxic. You see all these highlight reels of other people's life. Yeah, you see what I did there? Instagram reels. I fucking hate Facebook.
Big hand that I said in the beginning, which is the I've been drawing for over like 4 years and he's been drawing for 1 and he's already infinitely better than me mindset. So again, what is the problem with PewDiePie's art journey? The problem is that people who see his rapid growth will immediately begin to compare it with their own art progress. I'm not gonna lie, I did that too. But there's 2 outcomes to this. You can either see it as a way to kind of tear yourself down and doubt your abilities and work, which I don't recommend, or you can see it as somewhat inspiring or a motivator to keep you going because it just makes you think, well, you know, if he can do it, why can't I? Which leads to the second problem where some people on Twitter raise the point that, you know, he can only achieve this because he's rich. Now, I can't really speak on his behalf because obviously I'm not a millionaire, but I don't really see how art improvement on this scale can be attributed with wealth. Sure, he does have the financial capabilities to buy an iPad and try digital art without burning a hole in his pocket. And yeah, can I just say, I did compare my own digital art journey with his. I was like, wow, this is infinitely better than mine after like a month. Also, Felix, if you're watching this, I see you are using Procreate. Love that app. Me too. May I recommend the Glossy Jelly brush set or the Dreamy Sketch brush set? Truly my favorite. I've been using them every day for like 5 years straight. Super good for anime, manga. You can download it in the description. Give it a whirl. Let me know what you think. But yeah, back to the millionaire thing. In terms of progress, I don't think he took longer than like an hour to practice every day. Like I drew every day for about 5 years, right? Sorry, I said that like 5 times now. But I'm nowhere near millionaire status, trust me. Yet I think it's possible if you really do have a passion with art to take a few minutes out of your day to just draw and practice a bit. Sure, money does give you the free time, but if we're just talking like 10-20 minutes of sketching, I don't think that him being a millionaire is really a huge, solid, sound argument. I don't know, that's just my 2 cents. Take it with a grain of salt. I'd love to hear your side of it, as well as your journey with any creative endeavor that you're currently going through, like knitting, crocheting, I don't know, pottery. If you remember, I talked about my croissant baking journey. So yeah, feel free to share your thoughts as well, and let's just please keep it civil. Thank you.
So now that V had her say, Now I'm gonna weigh in on this. Wealth can do you a lot of good, point blank, period. If it didn't, so many people wouldn't be after it. Like, real talk. I can't go to the light company, I can't go to the water company, I can't go to my ISP service provider, whatever the fuck, and be like, hey, I have good vibes. Can I pay my bills in good vibes? I drew you guys some nice effort art. Will that pay for anything? Can I keep the lights on for an extra 20 minutes? You already know the answer. Even if it's just 20 minutes a day, it helps out a lot because you have a finite battery. I really love drawing, but maybe I want to let my brain space out for a bit. Maybe I just want to watch something stupid on YouTube. Maybe I want to watch Casual Verse. But really, maybe I want to watch something on Netflix. Maybe I want to go hang out with friends. Maybe I want to play video games. Just something else to take my mind off of the monotony of life. I do love art. I really do. Like, just in this example, I really do love this thing, but I don't feel like being challenged more after my second and third job. You know what helps with that? Money. If the only thing on my to-do list today is to, I don't know, play with my kid, swim in my swimming pool. I don't know what temperature it is, wherever the fuck Felix is at, in Japan. I don't know, go to the Shibuya district. I don't know if that's the only thing that I have to do today and then I can just fuck off for the rest of the day. I've got plenty of time. I got plenty of stamina. I got plenty of energy. I've got plenty of relaxation. I'm not stressed or anything. I'm not pressed, any of that. I don't need any kind of like, oh man, I don't feel like dealing with this right now. And I have to deal with this and I need to get better and I want to get better at this art, but it's just another thing that I got to deal with. You don't have to deal with any of that. He big chilling. I would argue, maybe not in all instances, but a good amount of them. Peace of mind can make you better at other things because your brain has a finite amount of RAM. And if you're spending a lot of that being stressed out, worrying about where the next paycheck's coming from, worrying about how the next bill is going to be paid, worrying about like getting to work tomorrow, making sure, like, just in case, I don't know, like your car is fucked up or something, if you have to, you know, if you have to drive, or if you were like me before where you had to take a bus, it would be a drive that took like 10 minutes, but you had to take the bus and transfer. So it ended up equating to you losing like an hour and 30 minutes of your life forwards and backwards from work. Like, just, it's so many different things. Money is a big part of it, a big promise. And as usual, I come out with the certified hood classics. Everything in life comes down to probability. You can very likely do this. You can be an artist, but it's just going to help weed people out. And I say help, I mean, not in a good way, but it does weed people out. People who may or may not have went down that path if they didn't get weeded out. That's just a reality. It's a roadblock. It's a filter. Consider it a filter, because whatever you end up doing with your life, whatever you decide, that is an outcome no matter what. And as you go through, as time progresses, you will have a wide variety of roadblocks and filters that can cause you to not have the outcome that you picture in your mind. One such good example that probably affects literally millions of people. How would you feel after working your second job, sometimes even your third job? You sit down, you finally breathe, and you want to draw, but now you're faced with another challenge. One of the challenges that she's mentioned in that video is having to draw something different. And when you try to draw something different, that feeling of regression, because it's like, oh shit, now I'm going back to the drawing board because this sucks compared to what I routinely draw. And something different would help me grow, but it just feels like another job at this point. It feels like another hurdle. It doesn't bring you joy. It actually just brings you dread. Not all the time for everyone, but there's plenty out there that it does. Like I said, if there's tens of millions of people that actually just go and draw, chances are a lot of those are going to fall off. A lot of them for this reason as well. Because if it feels like work, you're probably not going to want to do it. Even though you shouldn't let yourself feel that way. Easier said than done, I know. You shouldn't let yourself feel that way, but unfortunately, a lot of us, it just kind of does. So off the top of my dippity dome, what will be the variables that would make it to where you can be either an amazing artist or a very shit-tastic artist? Let me think. Overall, what it would come down for me, or come down to for me, one would be innate ability, one would be your environment, time management, finances, of course, passion, drive, and tenacity. I'm probably missing something else, but like I said, off the top of my head, this is what I'm thinking of. And you can rate them from like 1 to 10, 1 being the best, 10 being the worst. Now, these are all not weighted equally because I believe, at least, external factors drastically can affect your outcomes. Now, your internal factors can too, like you actually having an innate drive to do it, because if you don't have no drive, then you know what I mean? But at the same time, but if you keep facing headwind after headwind, you know, in a sea of millions of people, the reality is you're just going to get, like, people are just going to get weeded off after a while. Remember, it's a filter. If you're broke, anything can stop you from drawing. Drawing aren't paying your bills. You may have family to care for. Like I said before, you may have multiple jobs. If you don't live comfortably like Pewdiepie, you know, he's a multi-millionaire. Hell, even if you were just like a regular, even if you were like a thousandaire, you know what I mean? Like, that would still give you a lot more time. It may not give give you all the time in the world like Felix, but it would still, like, the more that you have, the more likely you can have time back, because more than likely you're set up to a point to where you make a lot of passive income to where you don't have to directly be involved, which, you know, that's a lesson and a topic for another day. Passive income. Look it up. Probably do something for you. But then, yes, you're more likely to have time to just like kick it, relax, unwind, and just get better at something. You can do it, sure. Nobody's saying that you can't, but you know, there's a but. It's less likely for you, and millions out there. When you're rich and you just have the money in the bank, by all accounts, you can literally just fuck off into the sunset. You're not worried about your landlord fucking you, or your boss, your credit card debt, your student loan debt. Thank you, Republicans, by the way, for making sure poor people keep their student loan debt. They aren't rich. They aren't drinking chai lattes and drinking that spoiled ass brat drinks. They mostly reside in poor people states, and they're brown citizens too. And having to make that distinction, I fucking hate you, cancers. Anyways, they say mostly in Republican states. You chose, you dipshit boners, rich fucking pieces of shit. Sorry, y'all. That was one of those hurdles I was talking about, because interest rate. Paying a loan back is fine. Sure, fine and dandy. Interest literally adds no value to anybody, and you end up having to pay more interest back than you do the actual loan itself. Good times. Thank you, Republicans. Fucking over poor people again. Part 8,379. Dipshits. Anyways, when you have all this to worry about, that eats up your time, your mental health, your energy, your desire, your will. It's going to burn you out faster. That's the reality. Opinions or not, that's a mathematical reality. Some of you want to be musicians. Reality is a roadblock. Some of you want to be artists. Reality says... And I gotta keep stressing this as I keep going on. It doesn't mean you'll never make it. I'm just saying, in a land of hundreds of millions of, if not billions of people, those realities are going to end up causing a lot of people to miss out on what they really want to do. Because motherfuckers don't all want to be in accounting, or do boring ass paperwork, or do thankless jobs. That's not what kids want to do when they grow up, but that's what happens. And it sucks because it also keeps society chugging along. Some people are fortunate enough to do what they love. Others are on the hamster wheel until it's time to be boxed up and replaced. It's actually awesome, and it sucks. It all sucks, or it's sucksome. I kind of like sucksome. It do be sucksome, don't it? Drive can take you far, but how much cargo do you really have? How much baggage do you really have? Because that's definitely going to affect your miles per gallon. Does your environment help you or hurt you? Are you pressed 24/7? Are you worried about your next meal? Are you in a crime or a depression infested place? Mainly likely due to financial issues of the entire location of people that are there. There's a lot of factors that goes into this that's really not being thought about at all. Like, don't get me wrong, I cannot stress it enough. I will say this again and again and again. You can still make it. It's not PewDiePie's fault. He just benefited from his luck and his work. That's all there is to it. In this life, you need both. If PewDiePie was born brown, he could still make it, sure, but he probably wouldn't have the fortune that he's had currently for a number of reasons. It's not like Felix is that unique when you think about it. Just right place, right time, right era, right region, right color, etc., etc. Because ask any black content creator or any brown content creator, they get a lot of shit online for just being online. Or you can just look on Twitter. Deadass, you can just look on Twitter. It's a literal racism flea market there now. Thank you, Elon. Anyways, everybody, the ride is easy when the dollars are there to grease the wheels. But just because life isn't fair, that doesn't mean that you can't make it. You still can. Just do everything you can to put probability in your favor. Just pace yourself. Try to find joy wherever you can. If something is making you unhappy, try to mitigate that. You only get one ride through. Don't be like me, somebody who tried to grind their ass off for years, and it just made me kind of bitter. I try not to be, but I have plenty mental and emotional scars from trying to grind my way and be diligent through it and fight through the pain and suffering. It really sucks. It's not good for you. But recognize the unfairness of life and that it is short. Try to be content with doing what you can, but always, you're welcome to push yourself for what you think is better. But don't burn out. Work hard, relax hard, sleep plenty, drink plenty of water, network, be open, be personable, be skeptical, and make sure you never lose your fire. I really think balance and harmony is probably your best bet. Learn business-related movement and skills, marketing, psychology, strategy, and how to use that effectively while trying to vibe, be zen, and chill. It's like a push and pull. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. Good video, though. I enjoyed it. Check out V. Check out me. Like and subscribe. Comment and tell me what you think down below. See you later.